So this is going to be a bit of a hard video to watch for some. It's definitely going to be a difficult video for me to make. And so I wanted to put in some warnings at the beginning, some content warnings, just so you can keep yourself safe. This video will talk about things like sexual assault, recovery of that, which details thoughts of suicide, depression, and things along those lines. So be cautioned, keep yourself safe, and don't watch if these things if you're very sensitive to these things. So hello, my name is Katie Cuffle, and I am a survivor of violent sexual assault. I experienced this at the end of my freshman year at San Francisco, at a college in San Francisco. So I was about 18. So this is about 3 years ago now. I was at a party. I had had maybe 1 to 2 drinks. So I was slightly tipsy, but not at all drunk. And I wasn't really feeling it. And I kind of wanted to just go back to my dorm room and chill. And an acquaintance of a friend, like a friend of a friend of mine, I knew had driven there, and he had offered me a ride home, and I decided to take it because, like I said, I didn't want to be there anymore, and I kind of peripherally knew this person. Basically what happened was I was kind of spacey, obviously. He started driving me in the general direction of my college, and I just kind of stopped paying attention. I was trying to create conversation, but he was kind of quiet, so I just kind of looked out the window, and I noticed that eventually we weren't really going the route, or in a way that seemed to make sense, but also I kind of questioned my knowledge of the city. I didn't grow up there, so maybe he knew. But eventually he pulled off, and started going down back roads and like into kind of like a weird area, and I was like, hey, are you lost? You need me to look something up? And he was silent and just like very creepy, etc. And like all my alarm bells were going off at this time. And basically what happened was he like attacked me. I fought, and one of my nurses actually told me that I had, if I didn't fight so much, I wouldn't have been so injured. Basically what happened was I suffered pretty severe injuries. These included both forced anal and vaginal penetration, which resulted in stitches. I had a dislocated shoulder and also hemorrhaging and bruising around my neck due to strangulation. I don't actually remember a lot of this firsthand. It kind of got blocked off. A lot of these facts I'm telling you are from what other people have told me, or what my nurses told me, or what I read in my chart. But yeah, after I was attacked, I was left by a bus stop. I was apparently just very I was like a rag doll. I wasn't really doing anything. I was just kind of like completely not there. My brain had kind of shut down. But I was left by a bus stop, and someone found me and called an ambulance. But again, after stitches and like basic care, after like a rape kit, I actually left without pressing charges because it just didn't seem like the thing to do. I know a lot of people are going to fault me for that. I still have not pressed charges, and I don't think I ever will. I know definitely at the time, if I had tried to press charges, I don't think mentally I could have handled it. So I know I made the right decision for myself. But yeah, after that, I finished my finals. I just went straight into work. I said I I gave some like shitty half excuse. No one really questioned it about my injuries. And after that semester, I transferred without word to another school. And I didn't end up telling anyone for a number of months, maybe half a year after it happened. And during this time, I developed multiple signs of PTSD and depression, including horrible nightmares. I had to be prescribed a sleeping aid because I wasn't sleeping. I was maybe sleeping 45 to an hour and a half every night, which was causing me to go a little bit insane. I had extreme insomnia, intrusive thoughts. I lost a lot of weight. I was not healthy. I just wasn't eating. A lot of anxiety, like pretty textbook things. I stopped engaging socially. And when I did engage socially, I actually ended up befriending people who were very unhealthy for me to be around, who kind of exacerbated those like self-harming tendencies within me. I did end up cutting for a while, and I did have very serious thoughts of suicide. At what point I had kind of a botched suicidal attempt. It was kind of half-assed. I wasn't really thinking about it as like, oh, I'm gonna kill myself tonight. It was more just, I don't know. But anyway, an RA was called, and my parents were called, and I kind of hashed it all out for them from there. And when they were notified, I remember being very angry that my personal space had been violated. I remember being irritable and just a horrible person to them in general. And it's something I feel really bad about still. I know I was lashing out for whatever reason. You tend to take out a lot of your anger and pain on the people closest to you, and I happen to love and have very lovely parents. So that's who got a lot of the brunt of it. Then eventually they left. I had somehow convinced them that I was fine and I could stay at school. And but one night, I guess it just became too much, and I bought a bus ticket back to Seattle. And that morning, at about 5 a.m, I was on a bus to Seattle. I just left my school without packing any of my stuff. I never told anyone where I was going. I just showed up at a friend's doorstep in Seattle, being like, I need to stay here. But eventually I confronted my family, and I discontinued school, and I went on a full path to recovery. And I'm very fortunate in that I have health insurance and that I could afford to see a therapist. I started taking antidepressants, anti-anxiety pills. Like I said, I started taking sleeping pills because I still wasn't sleeping at all. Remember my roommate would have to wake me up because I would just be, I don't know, inconsolable if I was asleep. But yeah, I ignored my attack, which is a pretty run-of-the-mill response I've found, and it's obviously not a good response to have. And I can't help but think a lot of this was due to stigma. My attacker was a monster who knew what he was doing and knew he was a monster. But the thing is, a lot of assault cases that happen, the person raping the other often doesn't know they're doing anything wrong. And it's a conversation that we need to bring up. And it's slowly coming to the surface throughout this generation, but it keeps happening. I'm busy. So yeah, don't be afraid to have that conversation. Don't be afraid to talk to someone. I was very adept and good at hiding all of my problems, but in the end it could have cost me my life. But know that if you've suffered this, there are people who love you, there are people who care, and there is hope. None of this is your fault. Like, it's not your fault. There's nothing that you did to deserve this. And happiness, like, you will find it. And I am very lucky to have the people in my life that I have. And I was very lucky to have such a strong support network. So I want to extend a hand to anyone who wants to share their story. You can message me. You can write about it. It's scary to be loud, but if it helps, it helps. I don't really know the point of why I'm doing this. It just seemed right, I guess. Because I am feeling better. I am feeling I've come over a hill of sorts, and my life is on track again after a few years of it being dreadful. So like I said, there is hope. I care. And to everyone else, have this talk with people. Talk about it. Talk about rape culture. Talk about consent. Make it a public issue, a call to action of sorts, because it can cost people their lives. Even if they're still alive, it can ruin you wholeheartedly.